And now let's take a look at another winner, Joe Duffy's picks for this Saturday, February the 22nd. It is literally the single biggest handicapping sports card in betting history. Yes, folks, many of you go back to me since 1988 on the score phones, although, then again, those of you who do that, we've got some permanent clients. You've already got long-term packages. You're not necessarily looking at the daily package, but anyway, it is the most winners I've had in one day, 18. Yep, we have a couple of angles that apply quite a few times today. Look, how the heck are we going to buck an angle that you and I have been winning together with for decades? Not going to happen here, folks. Plus, we've got another nice wise guy play. We've gone 9 straight days without losing a wise guy play. We've got another one today. And even if you're calling this late, we've got quite a few. We got to see, I think, 10 of those winners actually start at 8 p.m. Eastern or later, and quite a few late afternoons, 4 o'clock Eastern or later. So no matter what time you're hearing this report, you're going to have a ton of winners for Saturday. Joe Duffy's picks, $17. You know that is less than $1 per winner. Less than $1 per winner at offshoreinsiders.com, www.offshoreinsiders.com. Keep in mind, Stevie Vincent having one of the great runs in sports betting recent history, but he's been doing that since the turn of the century. He also goes back to our old 866 free 866 score phone days. Anyway, free winner for today, we're going to go college basketball, Portland plus a 13 against BYU. Our power ratings have this as a 10-point contest. Yes, the higher the point spread there is, the smaller the point of diminishing return on the score dichotomy. In other words, when you're closer to 0, if, for example, this game were a pick'em and we had one team winning by 3, the 3 points is quote-unquote larger than when you're talking about a 3-point difference in a double-digit spread. Still, this is quite a substantial scalp, a difference of 3 between our power ratings and the point spread. Likewise, we have found the month or partitions of the season, like the first quarter of the season in the NBA, final quarter, etc., to be less reliable than the full season angles. But probably the biggest exception in any single sport is the February angles in college basketball. Fellow sharps of health can convince me in the conversations and the confabs I've had with him over the years. It does measure a few key metrics we love to exploit. That is oddsmakers' overreaction to over and underachieving teams and bad line moves relative, again, the squares. They love going with the team that quote-unquote needs it more. There are bad line moves relative to perceived postseason motivations. We exploit that time and time again. So anyway, that's why we're certainly going to give a great deal of significance to an angle that statistically is very significant. Double-digit February underdogs of less than 20 points, giving up less than 9 rebounds per game, are 428 and 302 against the spread. BYU, most importantly, good old-fashioned handicapping. They're in a big letdown situation just 2 days after a huge win against Gonzaga. It's also a pretty solid dichotomous spread and straight-up game. This means if one team is consistently winning outright but failing to cover, or losing outright and covering, we ride the spread streak. And it really is on steroids when you have one team with a significantly better straight-up record, the other team with a significantly better spread record. Well, BYU 13-1 straight up at home, yet they're under 500 against the spread at home. And though just 3-6 straight up on the road, Portland is 7-2 on the road where it counts. Overvalued versus undervalued. Everything says the point spread is just too high. We're going to take Portland plus the big numbers. Oh, by the way, last Saturday, Joe Duffy's picks 11-1, 11-1. Yep, we had 12 premium plays last Saturday. 11 of them cashed in. Today, we've got an all-time record of 18 winning picks. This includes that wise guy play as we keep the streak going. 10 straight undefeated days with wise guy plays. From the Grandmaster Handicapper, all we do is win. Don't be on the outside looking in. Joe Duffy's picks at offshoreinsiders.com.